Hey guys, we're going to talk about LLCs and how you can write off your life, and they're not for big time companies and corporate people, and that's not out of your reach.
Yep.
How do I know? Because we've got 5 of them, and we have been learning how to write off our life, and we're going to share it with you. What do you think, Stacy?
I completely agree. So when I first started delving into this world of LLCs, everybody thinks it's for big corporations, it's for the elite. It's not. It's for the guy that's down the street that has a hobby, or my cousin right now, Lorna, who has a bakery that she does on the weekend. Hi, Lorna. Which I'm so proud of you. You just created LLC. She's in Arkansas, and she's been cooking food for people on the weekends, and now she has created LLC. She can write off all this stuff. So let's get down to the realistics.
It started off as a hobby.
It did.
And she's so good at it.
Yes.
Now she can write off her cell phone, her car. Well, she can write off the mileage or fuel, not sure. And that's like 50 or 60 cents a mile.
Right.
Say the job's 30 miles away, that's $30 she can write off. That's $30 you don't have to pay taxes on.
And you can write off the clothes. You can write off the makeup. You can write off the hair, because as a woman, you have to have your hair done. Oh,
I can write off razors.
Yeah, you can write off the vehicle maintenance. You can write off food supplies. You can write off electricity at your house that it costs to make the food. You can write off all the stuff
if you've got an office aside from your house, you can write off a portion of your house.
Yes.
And I know, before we get too far ahead, I'd like to say, if you want help with this, you can go to the link below. We've got an affiliate link with Corporate Direct. You get a 15-minute free consultation with them, and she's been very impressed. I haven't talked to them, but she's really
so actually Economic Ninja turned me on to them, and so I called them. I was like, all right, what do you guys have to offer? And I got a 15, well, actually it turned into like 30 minutes free consultation, and I'm working with them right now actively to go through, because we have 5 LLCs, to go through and see what we're doing right and what we're doing wrong, the minutes and all that kind of stuff. But that's a whole nother video. But if you want to check them out, I'll put a link in the description below. Just put if you refer, if they say who refers you, it's financial fitness, and you'll get $100 off. But I would check into them because they're working with us right now.
Yeah, don't get scared. Don't let it freak you out, all these steps to take, because I don't think it's that bad, is it?
No, LLCs are so easy. I guess that's what amazes me, that people are so scared of LLCs when they're so easy. It's like this little gem that's in our financial system that nobody knows about.
You're protecting yourself is what you're doing. How it was explained to me is it creates a cookie jar that has your business in it. Your business, whether it be rental properties or whatever, is over here. And if somebody comes after you and tries to sue you, I've never heard of a LLC being pierced. Nobody's ever pierced the corporate veil of an LLC that I know of. I'm sure it might have happened, but nobody I know of has ever experienced that. So you've got your businesses. We have
5,
like 4 to 6 rental properties per cookie jar, per LLC.
Yes.
Taylor Welding's a different LLC. These are different things. So if anything happens, they can only get to that. There's a lot of people right now that have businesses of all different types that are just winging it, that could be sued for everything you got. We literally could sue you for everything you got if something happened.
There's a horror story that we've heard about. The guy owned a property.
Oh, that's bad. I hate talking about that.
Yeah, and he...
Guy owned a property.
I'll let him tell
He only had the property, and it was a building that somebody turned into a bar, okay?
Yes.
And he had somebody valet parking vehicles. Well, he didn't. He didn't have anything to do with it. The guy that owned the business had somebody valet parking, and the guy mixed up the gas and the brake, smashed 2 guys against a brick wall. One guy lost his legs. It's one of those awful horror stories that you hate to hear. Well, the business owner didn't really have anything to lose. No. There's not really that much there.
He had an LLC.
Well, I don't know if he did or not, but they didn't go after him. They went after the guy that owned the property that didn't have anything to do with anything and got everything he got. They took him to the cleaners.
Yep.
So if he would have had it in an LLC, all they could have gotten was that building. So that's why you want to separate your life from all of your LLCs. At the same time, you're writing your life off through all of your businesses.
Correct. And not only that, let's go practical. So every day when you get a receipt, you need to look at that receipt and go, how can I write this off? So every day when he gets a receipt, I ask him to bring all the receipts home, and I say, how can I write this off for our 5 businesses that we have? How can this be assigned to every business? And that's what I do. You write at the top. You say, okay, this is what this business is for.
It's so hard to remember.
Well, I do this.
It's so hard to remember.
I do this. He doesn't do this. But just let me just tell you, it's an easy thing to do. at the top of the receipt, write the business that it's for, what it's for, and it will save you grief at the end of the day. When you go to file your taxes at the end of the year, you just pull the receipts and you're like, boom, 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 done. Boom, it's done. It's so easy. I know it's so hard for you.
It's your proof. Well, it's just hard for me to remember because I'm in the moment and I'm doing other things.
I do
it
that,
winds
though.
up in my wallet and gets washed. But if you'll take your receipt and write down who you were with,
Yep.
what you were talking about, just a little small description, that's your
proof.
And if IRS comes and looks for you, you can say, no, here I was talking about real estate. Yes, I was in Puerto Rico. Yes, we went and looked at some properties. And yes, I wrote the trip off. And they're going to be like, okay, that's it. So that is your proof. Don't think, I've heard some stories about how you don't really have to keep receipts. You just have to have proof on a card. That's not the case. You've got to have receipts and you've got to have something wrote on it.
And not only that, but every LLC has different categories. And so whatever LLC you file, I think this is very important. People don't understand this because this is what I do. He depends on me to do this one. Every LLC.
Get a good wife. I'm married up.
Every LLC has a category. So whatever LLC you file, you've got to figure out that category. Some has like supplies, advertisements, cell phone, internet, clothing, building material, tools, vehicle maintenance, insurance. You can do vehicle, you can do personal health insurance, trash. If you have to have trash picked up at your property, you can have food supplies, electricity, you have monthly fees. You're going to have to figure out what your categories are for your LLCs. And some are swappable. So sometimes I'll go to my CPA and I'm like, hey, I know I'm high on this end. So this actually can be transferred to this category also because they're swappable. So you need to create a relationship with your CPA to say, hey, these are my categories. You need to figure that out. That's very important.
And the rental properties is a wonderful write-off. It is. That's why Congress has them. That's why the people that make the rules own real estate. Because you can write off mortgage interest, property tax, operating expenses, depreciation, repairs. It really changes things. Just let your imagination run wild on the things you can write off on rental properties. So there's a ton to say. It's not hard to do. The main thing is take action right now. Okay, so I have a lot of people want to get into real estate, right?
They do, but right now is a tough time.
That's right. That's right. The numbers don't work around here.
But learn it now.
But now's time to get ready.
Yep.
Get ready. Get your
LLC.
Well, you can do that first if you want to. I have a different opinion on that. I think you ought to just go for it and shoot first and ask questions later. We think
different.
But go ahead and get your LLC. You need to do it now anyway. Get your financial statement ready.
Yes.
Your assets, minus your liabilities, your net worth. Have it all wrote out for the banker. Create a relationship with a banker. I cannot tell you how important that is. Just go in there and say, hey, this is what I'm going to do. Here's my credit score. Here's everything I'm worth. And you're going to know what you're talking about. He's going to be like, okay, this guy's he knows what he's doing.
Right.
You get that going right now, and you will be set up so when there is blood in the streets and it's just awful and nobody wants to invest, you're going to be like, hey, I'm ready. Right. I'll take that house. I can make it cash flow because the numbers work.
Right.
So it's going to be, get ready now. I'm really excited. And when it's time, I will be doing the moonwalk down this anvil because I really like real estate. It's really fun to me, the whole 9 yards. Fixing it up and flipping it, whatever you decide to do with it's fun. So I hope we've encouraged somebody to put their business of whatever they're doing, hobby, whatever it may be, into an LLC, protect yourself a little bit, and start writing your life off.
I guess the big thing is I was so scared of LLCs at the beginning, and I just want people to realize everyday people like us, you can have an LLC. Don't let it scare you. Don't let it scare you. Go for it.
But here's what I do want you to do. Have an awesome, awesome day. Later.